Well, welcome back. I do apologize. It has been a long time since my last video, and I really want to start uploading like at least weekly, but due to bad weather, which means bad roads, which means I can't drive home to make these, and then also me being sick, you can probably still hear it in my voice, which, by the way, I guess you guys notice my voice cracks a lot. Cool. You know, I've known that for years. I just didn't think it was that big of a deal. But anyways, on to the topic today. As you can see by the title, we're hydro dipping, but not just with paint, with Flex Seal. Now, I've been kind of dying to get my hands on this stuff, just because it's kind of going to be fun to mess around with. Not only am I going to paint stuff with it, I'm probably going to use it around the house just to see what it can do or if it's even worth using. But for right now, we're going to stick to hydro dipping with it. Now, this is going to be quite interesting, and I have no clue how it's going to go. Hopefully it turns out okay, but if not, I guess I have some other things in the works right now, so we'll see how that goes. But you guys have also been requesting that I do an Xbox 360 controller, so I'm going to combine this Flex Seal video and paint an Xbox 360 controller. Now, I know you guys probably wanted like a legitimate hydro dip or another paint video of me doing like a cool design or something, but this is what you guys get, so you're stuck with it. But let's get into this. Alright, so a few things you'll need this video. Obviously, spray paint, or, you know, if you're like me, Flex Seal. Now, you can get this stuff usually at places like Walmart or Lowe's or like industrial hardware stores, but sometimes you can't find all the colors. Like when I went, I only found white, and who wants just white? That's boring. So I did have to order this yellow online, and it actually took a little over a week to come, so it was kind of long, but not bad. Next, obviously, you'll need an Xbox 360 controller, and I have already gutted it out. It has no wires or anything. It's just an empty shell at this point with the battery pack. And no, please stop asking me. I'm not going to make a video on how to disassemble one, because goodness sakes, it is just frustrating, not fun, and I usually end up looking at other people's videos anyways. Next, Scotch-Brite sponge. Like I do with almost anything, as soon as you get it stripped out, what you're going to do is you're going to take the green side of it and you're just going to sit there and rub it all over till you get rid of that shiny protective coating, because that makes spray paint not want to stick as well or stick at all, which it just screws it up and you don't want it on there at all. So I haven't even tested to see if this will hydro dip. I do know it sits on the surface of water just like oil-based spray paint, but after reading through this, I can't really find out exactly what it's made of. It says it's a kind of like a rubberized coating, spray liquid. It doesn't say much else, so I'm kind of just guessing, but so far it looks like it's gonna work. Now, this is a primarily black controller. As you can see, the bottom is gray, and I don't know what to do about that. I'm kind of skeptical of mixing it with spray paint, because if you know anything about spray paint, if you mixed water-based and oil-based spray paint, they don't like each other. It turns out bad, they goop up, a bunch of other bad things, and you know, I don't want a chance at happening, so we're gonna use just these two colors and see what happens. But we're gonna jump over there. I am gonna put on this mask, so if you hear me mumble or my voice sounds horrible, excuse me for the mask, but this will actually help keep the spray paint from, or keep me from breathing in the spray paint, and I probably should have done this a long time ago. But we're gonna move the camera over and get started. So as you can see, there's a bunch of yellow speckles in the water, and like I said, I already did test this with the yellow just to see what would, or how it would react with the water. And considering it didn't actually blend with the water or mix with it, I'm assuming it has some type of oil base in there or something that doesn't want to mix with water, which is good. That's exactly what we want. So what we're gonna do is start spraying some stuff down and see how this turns out. And I am gonna throw on this mask real quick. So I'm not gonna be talking, because when I talk in the mask, it sounds like this, and it sounds really, really bad, so I'm going to refrain from doing that. Well, we let it actually set out and dry. So, as I said earlier, this thing is actually one of the ugliest things I think I have ever painted, and hopefully ever will paint. This thing actually looks like rotten eggs. I'll give you guys a closer up look here, but there is a bunch of bubbles and splatters and other things that ended up showing up. Not to mention the texture is very interesting. I know I still have gloves on because it's still wet in some spots, and I'd rather not get this stuff on my hands, but I can still just feel the difference between where the Flex Seal got and where it didn't get. So there's obviously a huge difference. It is kind of a cool texture, but weird at the same time. But I'll give you guys a closer view of this thing. Like I said, it looks like rotten eggs. It's just not a pretty thing to look at. As you can see, here's the back. There's a lot of this area right around here that didn't get quite as much Flex Seal, I guess. So it looks a little bit on the odd side, but I actually am going to put this back together, reassemble it, and use it because it's still a perfectly fine controller and whatnot. But I don't think I'm going to show you guys that until later. So as for right now, that is it. This video, while it did produce one of the ugliest things known to mankind, was actually very fun. And you know, I got some Flex Seal out of it. Maybe we'll do something else with that later, something a little bit more productive. But guys, thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and I hope to be uploading a lot more now that school is winding down and the weather is also nicer, which allows me to come home and make these videos. But guys, thanks for watching. See you later.